Hey Daniel, I have two preliminary designs for you I want you to look at, and I'm going to show you the reasoning between the two designs and what's possible. So I started off by drawing your existing floor plan, adding stairs up the rear to a second floor landing. This is the layout that I'm picturing for the project right now. The reason I did it this way is I wanted to have the common area towards the rear where you walk in with a small kitchenette. Small two-person table. I originally had a peninsula here coming out with 3 bar stools, but wasn't sure if that was something you would want. Some people prefer to have bar seating in a small accessory apartment. Others prefer to have the table. The peninsula would give you much more counter space and cabinet space, so that's an option if you want to think about that. Then if we got rid of this table, I could extend a standard sofa over and then have a love seat and sofa. Big screen TV on the wall. His and hers closets in the bedroom with a queen bed. Might be able to squeeze a king size bed in here, spreading out the nightstands, and then a common bath with a walk-in shower. As far as the design, the exterior, what I was leaning kind of towards, let me see. So this is my starting point. I kind of was using, let me just bring over some images. Okay, I was using something like this as a design idea and starting point. I have different variations on this. I've got this one also. When you start adding more and more trim, this piece of trim going across, this trim going up. Of course, this is kind of like a steeply pitched cape with dormers. I mean, I could design it as just a giant box without any of this roof trim. Once you add the roof trim, it gets more expensive, but you know, it adds a lot of appeal to the design. So with that being said, let me see if I can get back to this. Okay, so it's very easy for me to take this stuff off and show you kind of what it would look like with the very basic elements on there. And this is what I'm talking about as it being just a box. This is with a 7'6" second floor ceiling, a very shallow pitched roof, so we don't go over the maximum maximum height for the setbacks and the zoning. This is a 3.5 pitch. But then I can take it a step further. If I add all this stuff back in, okay, so this is what your design would look like as my, mediocre starting point. That gives you that idea. Now, if I take this design, I've got a 3D floor plan for you to look at in that version. Makes it easier for some people to really see and get an understanding of how it looks, because some people can't view things in 2 dimensions on blueprints, so they look at it this way and they're like, okay, that makes a lot more sense to me. But that aside, don't need to save that. This is all 6 renderings, which will be on the PDF drawing I'm going to have on the website that you can just download to take a look at. Then I went from this design to another design. Actually, these are the flat line renders. Now, if I go to design number 2, I bring in the walls about a foot on the front and back to give the house more depth perception. This creates an alcove here, so it does screw up some things in the floor plan. It makes this a little bit narrower. You have this gap back here. I would probably just fill this in with a false wall in the bathroom. Here you can't do it because you've got the window for natural light and ventilation, so you'll have that little alcove behind the nightstand. Now, I'm going to show you the reason that I do this is because it allows you to create more depth perception on the design. You've got this setback here where it's set back from first floor to second floor. Maybe not, really perceptible to somebody. I'm going to compare it now with the other one. So you can see in this one, the front looks much more boxy because that aligns. So let me see if I can put these side by side for you. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Okay, so now these are basically the same exact design, just this has this wall and this wall back here set back, so you have more of a depth perception release on here. And this is with this wall completely flat. You know, on this design here, you kind of really don't even need this roof slope here. This roof slope you need because it's covering this outward gable, and this gable is recessed. But on this one, this is just totally for looks. And you tell me if you don't want, if you think it looks too busy. I can easily take this piece off. This piece would be the next piece to come off, and then you would be left with just this roof line. But I also did play around originally with a gable over this window and then another gable up and above, but it started looking just a little too disjointed. I didn't really care for it. So that is that. Getting back to the design. So design number 2. I've got again the cutaway, so you'll be able to see what I'm talking about in the floor plan. When I recess that wall, it creates that little bit of an alcove, and again creates that alcove over here. So that's just something to remember. Again, a couple of mistakes that I still need to fix. And this got to go back to here. I'll fix that later. Coat closet, linen pantry. Not pantry. Linen. This wall has to go over. Then his and hers closets facing a dresser with a TV on top for the master bedroom. All right, so got that. All the perspectives for design 2, and then I've got your line drawing, flat line drawings also for that design 2. So take a look at these, give me some feedback, and I'll make the next revision, the changes on the next revision. Thank you.